guys, welcome back to another Disney Pixar Cars Diecast review, and today we are reviewing the Transforming Lightning McQueen diecast, the new version from 2026. I got this guy around like May, April I want to say, but I haven't reviewed him until now unfortunately. I've been very bad with my reviews, as you know, with getting them out on time, but better late than never, so here he is. This is one of the first... Actually, no, I got them like February and March, which is even worse, to be honest. But anyway, this was one of the first, I believe, the first new diecast from the return to China in 2026. As you know, as you may know, as you may or may not know, all of the diecast 2026 onwards have come back to China after being made in Thailand for the last few years, which is very weird, because they retain the same manufacturing style as they did in Thailand with like the inkjet decals and all that, and the eye plates and all that. I assume because they're just accustomed to that style of manufacturing. So a lot of the new diecasts are really weird because like they're made in China, but they also don't look made in China, especially with the decal clearness. So it's like a really weird middle ground, because some of them are really good. I believe there's like a Maryland diecast out, and that is really close. I've looked at it a few times in stores, and that looks really clear. It looks like just like the China one. But then you have ones like these where you can kind of tell a bit more, obviously like the eye plate and such, and just a lot more noticeable. So in a way, this is going to be like a reveal of my new opinions on the those types of diecasts. I did do a bit in the Speedy Comet review, if I recall, but I haven't watched that video in a hot minute, so I'd have to double check. But yeah. So this will also be giving my opinions on the quality of these new sorts of diecasts. I guess, you know. But this is a review on the diecast itself, more so the comparison with the China one, because I never owned the China Transforming Lightning McQueen. He was released during the time where I wasn't really into cars, around like 2015 or such. And as such, I wasn't really collecting then. I don't believe we had many re-releases since then. I think there was like a metallic version of him, or maybe there was like a Thailand version. I can't remember, but I never picked that up. So this is my first time getting him. So it's going to be my reactions to him. So if you don't remember, in Cars 1, when Lightning McQueen is obviously having the Dinoco Daydream sequence, there's a scene where he's just like this, and then like he transforms into this, you know, the blue guy. This is like a midway through version of that Lightning McQueen. Bit of a bizarre release, but they release all sorts of McQueen variants, so it's not that much of a surprise to me. Just wish they'd actually release an actual Dinoco Lightning McQueen instead of just the transforming version, because this one I've had since I was a child. We haven't had him released in years, from my knowledge. This is really old. I've had this McQueen for like years. Yeah, this is the original Thailand. Yeah, if you did not know, a lot of the diecasts, when they first started making them, back in 2006, were made in Thailand. This one is too, I believe. This one I got in like 2019 as a replacement to my original, because my original is just so banged up. So yeah. Yeah. So obviously that is what this diecast is representing in Cars 1. So let's take a look at him himself. He's got a very determined expression. I love the shade of blue. I always loved the Dinoco blue Lightning McQueen. I did notice the logo is a lot more yellowy than it is on the original diecast. That's a lot more red. I have compared it to like other Dinoco logos, and the red seems to be like more consistent. I'd have to double check the movies, but to see what is more accurate. Personally, I prefer this though. I think it looks better. I think the red on there is just way too... It's way too pale. It's weird. I'd have to double check though, because I could be wrong. It looks fine on like Cal and like strip weathers and stuff, but for some reason that Lightning McQueen just looks odd to me. I don't know if it's even movie accurate either. Again, I'd have to double check. So yeah, obviously you got the Lightyear rims. The there you can see that. Yeah. A lot of these new diecasts, especially on the next gens, they have this weird like wavy thing on the thing, kind of looks like a 3D printer. It's better on some diecasts compared to others, so it's really like hit or miss. Here, the transforming effect here, I think is the biggest teller, and I do not own the China diecast, so I can't tell. It's a bit blurry there, but otherwise it looks fine to me. It's a bit there. And on the back, it's pretty much just a standard Lightning McQueen. There's a little thing there. I don't know if that's just a printing error or like that on all the diecasts. I do not own the original, so I cannot tell. One thing I did notice is this: the Rusty's logo is missing on the back. I'd have to double check other people's diecasts to see if that's like a error. Mine is like a factory error that I accidentally opened. Because if so, then I really wish I did not open this. But I was in a bit of a hype moment upon seeing it in stores, just like, yeah, let's get this open. If I have opened a factory error, then I feel really stupid. But otherwise, it's still cool to have, you know, even if it's solution, if it's factory error, it's still interesting, you know. But yeah, that is the review. Anyway, guys, thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye now.